What is happening, my block buddies? This is a brand new episode of Blocked Content where we look at all the Nintendo Switch news that's coming in. But right now, there is something new, there's something different that I wanted to try this time because there is just so much info that came in. We didn't have a moment to stop. We did have a very cool interview with Dan Koopman, who is, of course, Nintendan, and he's played the Switch and all that, and it was really cool to have his opinion on, what he thought of the games, what he thought of holding the controller, and, all the new stuff that came out. But right now, I just wanted to quickly look with you guys what exactly is going on with the Nintendo Switch, and I mean, just on Nintendo's main website, just seeing all the colorful beauty of these games is just, overwhelming a little bit. And I just wanted to look, at what is in the future. What does the future hold for Nintendo? And it's looking bright, but it's not looking the best that it could be. And I'm saying this because mainly the launch lineup doesn't look all that impressive. We do have the biggest gun that Nintendo has, the biggest bullet that Nintendo has, which is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which, of course, is looking like a phenomenal game with the voice acting, the open world setting, the story that finally gets expanded, all the side quests and dungeons, but, we expected this game to come out at launch. This is not a surprise, and which is, perfectly fine. It still will be an amazing game, but it does not have that one surprise. Even a game like ARMS, which is looking really amazing, is not exactly launching at the launch of the console, which could have been a really big gun for Nintendo. Now, a game like ARMS looks like a new IP. It's a sort of a new look on a fighter, the first fighting game of its kind, as they call it. It has extendable arms, and then you use sort of a mix of button presses and quick hand motions with the awesome Joy-Con controllers, and you can actually jump up and have these sort of flight battles, and it does look really cool. It kind of looks like what Nintendo did to shooters, and they're doing that with fighters. Now, I don't really know if that will be successful at all. They might have a push for it at some sort of Evo events, kind of things like that, just to see if it will work and kind of push that. And I think that would be a good idea. I think the character art looks pretty cool. I think there's some awesome stuff going in there, but this does not rival the character art of things like Overwatch. It's still pretty tame. It's still pretty safe, all of this, especially looking at Ribbon Girl. Character designs like this are very generalized and very simple. The girl has to be pink and the guy has to be blue. I don't really know if this game is speaking to me as much as it should, being, Nintendo's very first unique fighting game, but it does certainly have my interest. I will keep a watch on it. If they're doing things with story mode, if they're doing a cool single player mode that isn't just battling for over and over, that'll look really, really cool. That's what I want out of this game, is a little bit more than just the surface level of this is a fighter, but you fight from far away. You have those motion controls. They look cool. You kind of toss and curve these punches when you find an opening in the other person, and then you can pull them towards you and kind of flurry punch them, which looks really fun. And there are a lot of cool characters to this. There's Master Mummy, which looks like a very giant Hulk-like mummy monster with sort of guns or like bullets for arms. Bullets for arms. And of course there's the aforementioned Ribbon Girl, but for now that doesn't hold my interest too much. I think it has to be the unique fighting style that, throw punches. This would look really cool. But other than that, it's surface level, so ARMS for now has sort of my attention, right? So now we talk a little bit about a very divisive game, and that comes to us in the form of 1-2-Switch, which will actually be available for about $10 less than that of a normal game, which to me is still a little bit too much for a game like this. Now, for those of you who don't know, 1-2-Switch is not a pack-in game. It is a game that you buy physically at launch, and it's basically a sort of mini-game collection of a lot of these games that make you look at your opponent in the eyes very clearly, and there's not a lot going on screen, but it's about the experience to show what these Joy-Con controllers can do, and it's sort of like you can throw a party anywhere, and that is cool. I mean, it doesn't have to be this big console experience, and that's what I like about the game. And there's a whole lot of new play styles that kind of show what the Switch can do. And you just look at each other and not necessarily just the screen, even though I know a lot of people that still will do this. But there's the Wild West kind of dual mode where you quick draw. That looks like the most simple of all. Then there's the cow milking competition, which looks really weird and strange, and every single person who's played it feels embarrassed. And there's also the copycat dance-off, where one person does a dance move and the other has to, mimic them on the beat, which looks pretty fun. I mean, games like that could really sell the system on casual players, and I love it for that. I mean, that's what we need, right? We need more people playing games. We need games to be a bigger part of society, but I don't necessarily think that this game will be, any good on its own. I think that it should have been a pack-in, but then the price would have been more. So yeah, kind of in doubt about that for now. But each game does take a very cool advantage of the Joy-Con controllers. There's a lot of cool games, packed in, but I don't know if they will be enough. Right now, my favorite of this game is looking like the samurai game, where one person slashes a sword and the other tries to catch it within their hands, and that does look like a lot of fun. So I don't want to hold my breath, but I think that this game will deliver the fun, but maybe for a price that's a little bit too much. I would have expected this to be even looking at the graphic design of the mini games, there's not that much money that went into this one, so could have been packed in. Now, I've talked a little bit about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in my previous video, but just to reiterate, I mean, I think it's amazing that Nintendo is bringing the goods of Mario Kart to this new console. I mean, that game looks phenomenal and it plays phenomenal. I don't think they will change anything about the play style at all. I think that even, it's a little bit sad that there are no real new tracks or a new cup in the game. I think that is also a lot of development time, so, yeah, that was kind of expected, but there is a new battle mode, which is really cool. And Nintendo's official site actually says that this is the definitive version of Mario Kart 8. So it is now 4-player multiplayer in 1080p while playing in TV mode, which is really cool. And it has every single track from the Wii U version, including all the DLC, which you'll of course get for free now. And the Inklings are a new character, and there are also a lot of returning favorites that weren't in Mario Kart 8, like King Boo, which I'm happy about, but where's Petey Piranha? And then there's Dry Bones. Okay, that is sort of cool. We have Dry Bowser and Dry Bones, and we have Bowser Jr. Now, I'm one of those weird guys that likes Bowser Jr., so I'm happy about this one for sure. So let's take a little look at what more is available in this game. So it's basically, the definitive version, which means that we also get a new battle mode, and it has Balloon Blast, Balloon Battle, Bomb Blast, but also has this very cool new Piranha Plant mode. So we'll have to see what that will end up being. Now, battle on new courses. It does not say race on new courses, but battle. So there are no new cups as far as we know. I don't think they will get announced, but there is Urchin Underpass from the awesome Splatoon game, and of course there's Battle Stadium, and Battle Stadium looks like a very cool modern take on a battle stage. So there are also returning stages from previous games that are the GameCube Luigi's Mansion, which was a lot of fun in Bomb Blast, and there is the SNES Battle Course 1, and it's a very cute recreation with a lot more graphic style to it. So pretty good job, Nintendo, on this one. So we get the Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy from Splatoon, and probably more characters, but I think for now it stays at King Boo, Dry Bones, Bowser Jr. I don't think that there will be DLC for this game. It would be kind of redundant to make DLC for a game that's including the DLC, so that'd be pretty weird. There's also a smart steering feature, which makes driving and staying on the track easy for novel players and kids, even at something like 200cc. So a lot of new vehicles have been added, some inspired by Splatoon. In this game, you can carry 2 items at the same time, which is very crazy and will change the gameplay drastically, and will make it a lot more defensive in return. So returning items include Boo, the item stealing ghost, and the feather, which gives you a high jump in battle mode. So that's really cool. And there is you can play with your friends in local wireless multiplayer with up to 8 players. So that was expected. And play on the go with handheld mode and play anytime, anywhere. That is, of course, the big, takeaway here. So for now, those are kind of my impressions and thoughts on the games thus far. They look amazing, but yeah, I'm having my doubts. I mean, calling it all with, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is available at launch, but we know about this, it's not a surprise. Then ARMS is a game that is not even releasing at launch and doesn't look like there's more to it on the surface than just battling, and the art style is awesome, but also very generalized. 1-2 Switch looks like a game that should have been packed in, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe looks like a game that the original should have been. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Splatoon in a different video, but for now I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on games that release within the launch window. So if you have any thoughts on ARMS or 1-2 Switch, or maybe Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, leave them down here in the comments. We can discuss what you guys think of these games. Are you picking those up, when the system launches? Let me know what your launch lineup, shopping cart would look like. So you can also, of course, press the subscribe button and become part of our awesome Blocked family. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was Callum Stam from Block Content, and I'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more Nintendo Switch news.